What's up everyone, Dino Maxwell here, Cinedon. Today I'm going to be sharing a big change in my filmmaking journey. One that I'm sure is going to resonate with a lot of you, and that is switching camera gear. This camera right here was my Lumix GH5, and it's gotten me through a lot of filmmaking. Today I'm going to talk about why I'm finally letting it go. First of all, when this camera came out, it was a beast. Everyone who aspired to be a filmmaker wanted one. Now this is a key word, filmmaker, because the camera lacked in one aspect, and that is autofocus. However, autofocus for filmmakers is not as necessary as for content creators or YouTubers. Autofocus is even a blasphemy in the cinematography world, because those guys just want you to learn how to manual focus. That was a manual focus right there. I'm pretty proud of that one. Let me just turn back on to autofocus. In 2017, when it released, it was one of the first cameras to do 4K 60 frames per second. This is still relevant to this day, because other manufacturers are coming out with cameras still that don't do 4K 60p, but then they just go ahead and advertise 4K 30p like it's something mesmerizing. But at least you have full HD 60p, right? Enter IBIS. This is still a beast. It had great internal stabilization, which meant you had steady shots whether you were going handheld or not. Like I said, this was one of the greatest filmmaker cameras that you could have. I mean, it's still one of the greatest filmmaker cameras that money can buy. Which is why I have such a hard time letting it go. But that's where one of the most important things come in. Asking myself, what is the kind of content that I actually want to make? And that is the game changer. When asking yourself, what kind of content do I want to create? You also gotta be asking yourself, how can I create it the easiest so that I don't give up? Enter the Sony. One of the most difficult parts of creating content with the GH5 was constantly having to set my manual focus for each shot. I don't have that worry right now. Step forward, I can come in close and personal with you guys and still be in focus. Now I chose the Sony FX30 because when I asked myself the third question, if I imagined the biggest project I want to be working on, which one would it be? Note, within my budget, I said, I want to still make short film. I didn't want to have those limitations as I had right now, so I knew I had to bump that up while keeping in mind my budget. A super 35mm APS-C sensor. It's a lot better in low light than the GH5. I don't have a native ISO of 12,800, but hell, I shot on the 800, I shot on the 2,500 already, and honestly, I got some pretty good results. Hit a little noise reduction on post at the end if you do your coloring right, and you'll get perfect results with this camera. S-Log 3. Best part, there's a lot of stuff available for this. There's a lot of no trees, there's a lot of cineprints if you want them. There's a lot of plugins that have the profile of this camera built into them. Sony is just popular. Again, they're running the influencer market, so you will most likely find any kind of support for this camera that you need. 4K, up to 120 FPS, which is just... I could Baywatch right now in this room. That wasn't 120 FPS, by the way. That was 25 FPS. I just, David Hasselhoff myself across the room. However, there was one thing that the GH5 had on the Sony FX30, and that was 6K open gate, which meant that I could shoot horizontally with the camera and still have enough footage to crop and post so that I could make it into a vertical video. You want to know how I had to fix the lack of 6K? I bought two base plates. I put one on the side of the camera and one on the bottom of the camera, and they both fit my tripod as well as my gimbal. So whenever I need social media content, I literally just have to flip my camera. It's still a workaround, but whatever works. At least all the other functions are meeting my needs and requirements and are making my life easier to actually create content. Because make no mistake, it is not the camera that will stop you from creating content.
It is you who will stop you from creating content.
All in all, I had to make the right call by deciding first and foremost what I'm going to use it for, and second of all, the budget. Those are the two main things that you have to think about, because don't forget, you'll need a lot more stuff than just the camera. You need lenses, you need batteries, you need storage space. You're gonna need a hell of a lot of storage space. I mean, if you start shooting in 4K 120 FPS or 4K 60 FPS, you're gonna need storage space. I mean, you're wasting hundreds and hundreds of dollars just on storage. Lighting, ND filters, cages, accessories, tripods, everything. The body is not gonna make such a big difference as all the rest. Alright, that's it folks. I hope that my journey switching from the GH5 to the Sony FX30 has been able to help you make that deciding factor in your choice on what you need as a camera as a content creator. Don't forget to write down in the comments what kind of camera you're getting in 2024, and if this video has helped you make that decision, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. There's more content coming soon. Thank you, and see you in the next one.